Hello everyone, this is Espert here with another speed art prompt, and this time we decided to do, me and my friend went with the prompt uh, Disney characters. We was doing our own versions of, well, random Disney characters was I guess more the theme. We used a randomizer and it gave us a random character, and we had the choice of either doing it in our own style or we could make it just do whatever we want. If we wanted to do it like they did, that was fine, but we both decided that just it wasn't as fun, so we did our own versions. My character sorry, I was given the March Hare, which I loved. I was so happy I was given. I love Alice in Wonderland themed stuff. Um, and I loved the fact that I got this character. It's one that I probably wouldn't have picked on my own to do since there's so many other characters, but I do love that I got it. I like the fact that he's pretty much as mad as the Mad Hatter, and but I probably would have picked Mad Hatter over him since he's more popular. But I like doing my own version, and I'm just like, well, I'm not gonna make him a actual bunny like in the Disney version cartoon or in the movie version. So, but I took some references, kind of looked at the different versions that there have been, and kind of decided to take my own twist on it. And the character I thought of was like someone in an insane asylum, and I usually do not go this dark. I'm not a dark character designer, and so this was definitely very different for me, and it was interesting. I did have some fun with it. You'll see I do a lot of playing around with the critter program here. Just throughout it all, I was trying different things, trying to make things look a little darker, a little grungier, and so it was a learning process for sure, which that's kind of what they all are about. It's just playing around, having fun, and learning, enjoying the prompts, and just doing something different outside of what we typically would do, something I wouldn't pick myself. And that's exactly what this did. I loved it. I thought it was fun. Um, just outline everything as usual. I draw this out on paper, and then I scan the photo in, and I outline it here on the Krita. Get my outlines in, but I kind of knew from the get-go kind of what I wanted, and so it wasn't too hard for me to go from there. Getting all these little outlines out. I had to kind of look up references, of course, on a lot of things. It was kind of strange for me to look up references of like straitjackets and such. It was just very dark. I don't look up dark things like that typically. So it's like, oh, that's a little out of my norm. But I think it was a learning process for sure. It was interesting. I do enjoy this one. Lots of outlining here. Outline. So going. Didn't do too bad on time though. Kinda here. Trying to remember how long. I did this in about 3 sittings, I want to say. Remember how long. I think I sat here digitally working on it for about 2.5 hours. Broke it up into like 3 chunks. I want to say all the character outline first, and then the next set was when I sat down to work was other outlines, and then filling out some color for character. I think the final time I sat down was finish up like background coloring and such, and all the shading. I don't think I do a lot of highlights. I probably do a little bit. It is fairly dark. This is like sped up so much. It just takes forever to draw out some of this. This time, computer didn't give me trouble like the last one. Went a lot smoother. A lot easier to go around. I had such difficulty finding references for legs. You know how feet can be so difficult? Well, I just had such issues finding legs in the position I was kind of wanting for a reference. A lot harder than I thought it would be for a reference. But I'm outlining these. I think I actually might back up actually and redo this. Excuse me. I'm trying to remember if no, it's already a gray because I didn't want it to be black. I didn't want it to be dark black. It's not a big outline. These are supposed to be like scratches he made into the wall while he's been stuck in this insane asylum. Words and letters he made. I thought about doing just straight text, but I'm like, no, I don't want it to be perfect looking. I'm gonna scratch it out here on the wall myself. I'm just doing simple. I thought about doing like detailed design on the playing card, but I was like, no, he's not sitting here making tiny, perfect playing cards. He's just got some basic images scratched out. Wall behind out. I figure out how to work. Yeah, there we go. Trying to figure out where to put my lines. I was wondering why it kept coming through, and then I remembered it wasn't actually filled in with color yet. That's what throws you off whenever you have the picture behind it. There I am going in, just painting everything in. Krita has like a feature where you can, I can't remember if it's not a color mask. There's a feature it has where you can actually like just put a little streak in the enclosed and it'd fill it in. And I've tried that a few times, but I'm honestly find it a little easier just to do it this way, where you select your area, fill it in, and then at the very end, you select all your color and your background. Then you invert the selection, and then I just fill in the black lines with more black to fill in the tiny gaps so it doesn't look so choppy with a little bit of white ghosting lines on everything. That's how I typically like to do it. Filling in the little gaps. You can't have two. If you're wearing separate colors, you don't want it to be too everywhere. Gotta have it at least enclosed off from the background. Sometimes when you get like big chunks like here where it's all white, you tend to miss little spots, or especially when you do like the inverted, it can be tedious a little bit because you got to click every single spot and the background, and you can't misclick because you have to hit shift and click on each spot. I'm sure what I'm doing here, but you gotta click every spot with your shift, and if you forget to hit shift, it wipes out all your other ones, and you have to undo that and start over again. So it can be a little annoying sometimes, or if you miss something before you invert it. Oh, I know what I was doing. I was looking up eye references. I was trying to look up like crazy eye reference. That's what I was doing before. But if you miss something, you gotta like undo it and like re-go through and select a few things and all this. It can get annoying sometimes, for sure. You can see a little bit of the ghosting lines around the ears. I wanted him to still have a few of his rabbit-like qualities, even though he's still has hints of that. And so I gave him a little bit more of a triangle nose. I gave him. My brain says that they're like fake rabbit ears, like a headband, like you get at Easter or something, that's torn up and broken. But I kind of hinted at a few differences, that he wasn't fully human, really. Here's me trying to get all the little spots. There's several little things here and there, especially the little spots that didn't select well before that I wanted to stay white. Oh, this is me gonna invert it. I'm trying to get everything. It's very hard to see with it being white too. And then you find the little gaps. There you go with the black. And I realized I missed his toe. Right there, it's black. I'm like, oh great. But I don't really want to redo everything. So I just go in with the same color and I redraw out his toe. So I decided to do instead. Figured it would be easier in the long run. Go tidying up a few things, found a few spots that was missing white. And fill in his teeth. Go fill out some of these edges because sometimes the black gets caught on a few spots that you don't really want it black, honestly. Oh. A little bit of cleanup work here. But this was definitely a prompt that both me and my friend and I loved, and we said we'd probably revisit later. There's so many options that could be done, and it was really good. We love this one. It was very fun to do. So now we're going to move on to the background here. I'm gonna do I first like select the teapot and all this. I'm gonna color it, and I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? This is just scratchings on a wall. He's not got paint or anything, so it's just. So that's something I had to work with that was different. Was I'm used to coloring in each image, and this one it's just a scratching. Got to be the same color as everything else. So there I am. Like, this is me attempting to practice with bunch of different features here on Krita. Just trying to figure out how to do dark and grungy and everything, and just not my style I'm used to. So it was different for me. I'm not sure how to always do it, so I'm sure there's much better ways this could have been pulled off. But this is the way I pull it off, and I'm just here playing with it, and I get to putting so many different things on this that it starts being a little slow to load the patterns and stuff like this on it. I'm trying to give it like a little bit of shadow, like from being scraped, but I decided not to with that one. That wasn't what I was looking for. I do a lot of back and forth because I'm really just playing with some of this. And I will say I'm not perfect with Krita or anything like this. I'm still very much learning. There's still so many features. I'm deciding. I didn't like the drop shadow. I got everything cleared. Got everything a solid color and everything. Now I'm working on the shadows on him. Working on texture. I'm like, well, I want texture of some sort. I don't want it just solid. So typically I just go with like a solid, but I want something textury this time. Working on an over, like a, little bit more translucent, like gray overall, just color to go over the whole thing to kind of blend everything in. Seeing how the colors work. I made it a little bit more solid, like. As you can tell, I have the opacity down, so things come out in different colors. Some spots are darker, some are lighter. Finding different paint tools. Try them, I'll erase them. Try it again. I think I'm using like a hair tool, and I think that was actually me starting up the third day. I think I got up to this point of sitting down. One of these is a hair tool or a grass tool or something, and things get too big, things get too little. I'm just trying to get texture in there. Realized I did not color his nose. Nose colored. Work on the shadow here. At this point, I'm really working mainly with that overlay on top because I'm able to see what the end result would look a little bit more. Playing with giving him blood splatters at one point, and I decide no, I don't think I really want that as much. Everything that doing it in like sections here. I was looking up different references of things being kind of grungy and dirty. Trying to decide how dark to go. Kind of lighten up some of the areas that seem just a hair too bright. I don't think I go in with any highlight stuff this time around. Usually I do a shadow set and one or two shadow set colors and highlight. Trying to decide how to shade his feet here. So many brush options. I'm not used to using the variety of brushes typically. I do like how his eyes came out a bit. I know I could have done more detail to the eyes, but I'm not an overly detailed person unless it need be. It's not my preferred style all the time. I prefer to be a little more relaxed. Now we're messing more with the floor. I think we've decided we've done with the character, which I like how it turned out. Definitely looks dark. That was the top comment with anyone that knew me and knew my style a bit. They're like, "That's dark. Like that looks evil." I'm like, "Yeah, that was the point this time around. It was a little different." See, it's very lagged of some of the reactions of. I tried to pixel texture in there, which I think I keep. I like that texture. Kind of lose the playing card, maybe just slightly. I think I'm noticing that. Yeah. Darkened it out just a hair. Finding little spots that were little. Trying to find the best way to select these. I did them on their own. So I think I decided it needed a little bit of light stroke. That's what I decided to do. Too much stroke. Lighten up the coloring and such. Playing with more textures. seeing what we could do. This is like a paint texture. I liked it on the one wall, but it's a little bit much on the other one. I think I'd take off at least the two, I know. Yeah, because I like the back wall behind him that way. Trying to figure out something because it looks so plain, like it was just a smashed wall, like a smashed wall. What am I saying? A just straight like concrete slab. I think that's what I was meaning, a slab. So I found this smoky texture, and that kind of makes it look a little bit dirty, but not 1,000 times stroked over like the other one did. So now I'm trying to find something to do with the floor. Thought it needed a little bit more than just the pixel. So I think I went with the little strokey one again. The wispy one again. And there you have it. It's pretty much done. So I hope you enjoyed this. And next time we'll have a Nexomon series. And then after a set of 4 of those, we'll do our next art prompt, which I am currently working on. Bye!